Hello, Hayes. Recently, my husband and my friend from college have become pretty close friends. She moved here a few years ago, and we share a large friend group in town, but the three of us would often hang out together when she first moved. However, in the last 18 months, she and I have become less chummy. There hasn't been any drama or even an argument. We just have different personalities and interests. In this time, though, she and my husband have become a lot closer. Even though their friendship doesn't predate her moving to our town, they do have a lot in common. They read the same kinds of books, play the same types of board games, they have similar backgrounds. At first, I was happy they were becoming closer because they're both wonderful people. But more recently, there's been an uptick in what I would consider harmless flirting. She'll laugh too hard at his jokes and give him playful nudges. He'll give her excessive encouragement at our volleyball game. She talks about how their star signs are compatible. He talks about how she's a catch. I admit that I've been embarrassed by this a few times, but I've never said anything because I've always considered their friendship to be unthreatening. I love them both, and I know they would never do anything to hurt me. Plus, despite their commonalities, they wouldn't make a good couple. The other day, however, he did something that kinda irked me. A book series they both enjoy released a new novel, and he skipped work to get two copies of the book, one for him and one for her. He gave it to her as a Christmas present. This embarrassed me because he famously doesn't get Christmas gifts for anyone, not even for me. I don't want either of them to think I'm insecure, nor do I want to implant the idea that their friendship may be insidious. I also don't want to give my friend the satisfaction of thinking I'm jealous of her. How do I tell my husband that I support their friendship, but the way he acts with my friend in front of other people can be pretty embarrassing, and it hurts my feelings that he was so quick to get her a Christmas present while I won't be getting one. Yours, Third Wheel. Mm. Hello, Third Wheel. First of all, you don't sound insecure at all to me. You sound measured and generous and uncomfortable. And I worry, Third Wheel, about how long you've let these feelings go unmentioned. 18 months. Jeez, my voice just broke at saying 18 months. 18 months. A year and a half. That's how long it's been since you and your college friend have not been so chummy. And in that same time, she and your husband have become closer, which alone could be fine. I'm not a detective. I'm not. The purpose of this letter and us writing to each other today is not to analyze what that means. What's most important to me is that during that time, during those 18 months of change, their behavior has made you uncomfortable, and you didn't mention it to your husband. That's concerning to me. And that's what we need to address. The fact that you've just been sitting with these feelings is what makes me think that you do not lean towards jealous or controlling, but more potentially towards avoidant or scared of confrontation, wanting everyone to be happy. I get that inclination, but my love, part of being in a marriage means addressing when something isn't working. It's also about trust, yes, and trusting your partner to have friends of the opposite gender or the gender that they're attracted to or friends that you don't know about. But trust is not blind. Trust is not something that you just automatically get when you sign a piece of paper and agree to be married to someone and then never have to work for again. Trust is repeatedly earned, I think, over years. And trust can very easily be broken with inconsiderate behavior. Trust is not just broken when someone breaks a vow. Trust can be broken. Trust can be broken when feelings get swept under the rug. You got to speak up about this discomfort that you're feeling. Because by letting this go on for this long, I imagine your trust that you feel in your marriage has been dwindling. And I would spend more time talking about the trust in your friendship. But I also have a suspicion that you don't think that this woman is your friend anymore. It's the way that you said, I don't want to give her the satisfaction of thinking that I'm jealous. That's not something we really say about someone we regard as a genuine friend. We're not worried about someone being satisfied by our jealousy or our envy. Those feelings, I think, are specific to someone that we feel does not have our best interests in heart. And the fact that you wrote that in your letter, I don't want to give her the satisfaction, I think those are your instincts speaking to you, telling you that something isn't right here. And my love, I want you to say something because you don't need to settle for feeling embarrassed by your husband's behavior with your friend. You don't need to endure that feeling of embarrassment that they're flirting and other people are noticing. Even if other people weren't noticing, you don't need to endure that. And I don't know what's going on. I don't want to make assumptions. I also don't know what the solution will or should be. But I do know that you should not keep your discomfort in your marriage a secret for any longer. Circle back for one more second on the I don't want to give her the satisfaction of thinking that I'm jealous. Are you jealous, by the way? Are you jealous? Let's go back to that definition of jealous and envy. Jealousy is when we worry, it's typically between three people, and it's when we worry that something or someone is going to threaten the relationship we have with one person. Do you feel jealous? Let's go there together now because it's safe to do it here. It's safe to say how we feel in this setting. if you're listening to this and it's making you think of something else in your life, it's okay to say, you know what? I am jealous. Honesty with ourselves about what we feel is the first step towards getting to the other side, being able to decide what to do about it. And you are very honest in your letter, third wheel. You're very honest with your letter about a lot of things, but I do think it's lacking some honesty here because honesty is very scary. It's very scary to be honest with ourselves about the stuff we fear because I think sometimes we think that if we say the thing we're scared of, if we say the thing we're jealous of, it will somehow make it more true. But whatever is true has already happened. Whatever is true is already there. And you admitting it to yourself what you're scared of, it's magical thinking to think that you saying it out loud is somehow going to make something new exist. It already exists. If the thing you're scared of is already happening, you saying you're scared of it isn't going to make a difference, but it will make a difference for how you feel and how you're able to move forward. In your letter, my love, I hear you doing a lot of trying to convince yourself that everything is okay. I know they wouldn't do anything to hurt me. I've always considered their friendship to be unthreatening. They wouldn't make a good couple. They wouldn't make a good couple. Who the fuck cares? Who cares that they wouldn't make a good enough couple? Who cares if they wouldn't make a good couple? That is not a comforting. You deserve more comfort than that. You might believe those things. Those things might have been comforting you over the last 18 months. But that's not, you didn't write me this letter for me to confirm for you how you've been comforting yourself. You didn't write me this letter so I could say, well, yeah, if they wouldn't make a good couple, then you've got nothing to worry about. Why did you send me this letter? I think about that sometimes when I read your stuff, my friends. Why did you send me this letter? I forget. It's always good to remember that it's a real person sitting on the other side of their computer writing to me. I wish I could just reach out and touch you. I wish I could reach out and touch you. Is that weird to say? I think you sent me this letter because you're scared and confused, and maybe because you feel alone. Maybe you're scared that other people will judge you or shame you for whatever is happening, or for having doubts, or for waiting this long to say something. Maybe you hoped I'd say that I think you're imagining things and that you're just being jealous and insecure. Or maybe you needed someone you trust tell you that you're not, that you should trust your gut. And I think you trust your gut here. I definitely encourage you to speak with your husband, third wheel, but I don't think that you need to say that you support their friendship. You don't need to say that just so that you seem easygoing and you don't seem accusatory. Because do you support their friendship? Do you support their friendship? Or do you support the idea of your husband having female friends? That's a different thing. You can support the idea of your husband having female friends. However, you don't need to support the way he's making you feel with this one, or the way he's behaving with this one. You know your relationship best. No one else is in your relationship but you and him. And if something feels wrong to you, you deserve to figure out you deserve to have a conversation with him about what's going on and how to handle it. I think you just have to say it. It can be really scary when you've been holding something in for so long, but I think that you have to just say it. I think you say, I want to talk with you about your relationship with whatever her name is. It makes me uncomfortable. It's been making me uncomfortable for months, actually. But what tipped me over the edge was the Christmas gift. You've never gotten me a Christmas gift, which I didn't think mattered. I didn't think that mattered. I love that about you. I love all of the things about you. But I thought it was something about you. Meanwhile, you've been spending a lot of time with her. And then you got her a gift and it hurt my feelings and it's made me uncomfortable. And I wanna understand what's going on and see what he says. It could be a big misunderstanding. But I think what you're looking for is you're looking for him to take what you're saying seriously. I don't know what the truth is here. You're the only one who's going to be able to figure out the truth. And I think sort of no matter what he says, the truth is that you're not happy with what's going on. You're not happy with how you feel. That is true. And that's enough. I guess that's what I want to say. Your truth is enough. Your truth being that you're uncomfortable with this. I can't tell you what to do with that. But trust your truth enough. Third wheel. Please keep me posted. You can do this. Don't be ashamed.